They thought it was just chicken. Spicy, juicy, addictive. They lined up before sunrise, fought over the last piece, and built their monies around its taste. No one asked how it was made. No one wanted to know, because some things are sweeter when the truth stays buried. This is the story of Ada and the price Umweke paid for her success. By 5 o'clock every morning, Umweke village was already awake, not because of the cock's crow or the call to prayer, but because of Ada's chicken. The fire was always lit before dawn, glowing red beneath thick iron grates blackened by years of heat. Whole chickens lay open on the grill, split down the middle, skin stretched tight and already blistering. Fat dripped steadily into the fire. Push! Sending up smoke so rich and spicy it crawled into people's noses and refused to leave. The smell was violent. The scent wrapped itself around the village and refused to let go. Ada's chicken wasn't just spicy. It was alive with flavor. Ada didn't rush her chicken. She marinated it for hours, each bird soaked until the spice reached the bone. She massaged the seasoning in with bare hands, turning the meat slowly, pressing it deep into the flesh, whispering nothing, wasting nothing. People swallowed saliva just watching. By the time the first batch came off the grill, the line was already long. Men who were supposed to be on the farm stood barefoot in dust. Women clutched bowls, plates, even nylon bags. Children leaned forward, eyes locked on the meat, whining, tugging at wrappers. No pushing. Who came first? I have been here since dawn. Ada walked quietly, calmly, slice, turn, brush with spice oil, back on the fire. She served piece after piece, the smoke clinging to her clothes, her hair, her skin. The first bite always did the same thing. Eyes widened, breathing slowed. Someone always closed their eyes. The spice didn't just burn, it spread. It traveled from tongue to the chest, settled deep in the stomach, warm and heavy, like something waking up inside you. People licked their fingers without shame. Bones were sopped clean. Some stood there eating in silence, afraid that if they spoke, the taste would disappear. One more, they said. Just one more piece. No one in Umweke went a single day without eating Ada's chicken. Children cried if their parents delayed. Husbands fought their wives over the last piece. Even those who claimed they were tired of it found themselves standing in line the next morning, money already sweating in their palms. They were addicted, though no one used that word. Ada counted money till her fingers hurt. Coins, notes, more money than she had ever held in her life. In just 2 months, she became the most successful trader in Umweke. People whispered her name with reverence, that her hands were special, that her chicken carried favor. No one questioned how a woman who returned to the village with nothing could suddenly cook the most irresistible chicken they had ever tasted. If only they knew. 2 months earlier, Ada had returned to Umweke with nothing but dust on her slippers and shame in her chest. Life in the city had crushed her slowly. After her parents died, everything fell apart. She worked in a restaurant, standing all day, smiling till her cheeks ached, earning 10,000 naira a month, money that vanished the moment rent and transports were paid. Hunger followed her like a shadow. She was alone. Her only brother was gone. He died fighting for 4 plots of land their late father left behind. Their uncle Mr. Chike had taken everything: papers, lands, houses. Ada begged her brother to let it go, to stay alive, to choose peace. He refused. I can't abandon my birthright, he said. He fought and he died. Mr. Chike took the lands anyway. When Ada finally returned to Umweke, she went straight to her father's house, only to be dragged out like a thief. Her uncle's wife screamed that she was a woman, that women had no inheritance, that she should go and marry and stop disturbing men's property. Ada begged. She knelt. She cried. They shut the door. With nowhere else to go, Ada worked on people's farms in exchange for scraps of food and a place to sleep. At night, when there was no space, she curled up in a corner of the fields, wrapping her arms around her knees, staring at the sky until sleep took pity on her. This went on for a month, until one fateful night, Ada was settling in her usual spot when she sensed someone behind her. She turned sharply and froze. An old woman stood there, bent with age, carrying a basket filled with oranges and a piece of cooked chicken wrapped in leaves. Ada's heart jumped. "Good evening, Mama," she said quickly. "Good evening, my daughter," the old woman replied, her voice calm, almost gentle. "What are you doing here at this time of night?" Ada sighed. "I had nowhere to go, Mama. My uncle threw me out of my father's house." The old woman looked at her closely. "Let me help you carry the basket home," Ada said. "It must be heavy." The woman shook her head. "My house is not far. Don't worry, I can manage on my own," Ada insisted, lifting the basket anyway. The old woman said nothing and turned, leading her through the dark to a small house near the farm. Inside, the air smelled faintly of earth and smoke. Ada dropped the basket and turned to leave. "Wait," the old woman said. "You haven't eaten today." She handed Ada the piece of chicken. Ada refused at first, but the woman insisted. "Do not refuse my gift. You have helped me today. Allow me to repay you. Eat, then drink water from the pot." Hunger won. Ada ate. The chicken was extraordinary, warm, spicy, comforting in a way that made her chest ache. She drank the water and felt strength flow back into her limbs. "Thank you, Mama," she said. The chicken was delicious. The old woman smiled. She went into another room and returned with an old mirror. Its edge is worn, its surface slightly clouded. "Do you want to be rich, my daughter?" she asked. Ada blinked. "Yes, I want to be rich. Why are you asking?" "Buy one egg tomorrow," the old woman said. "At exactly midnight, bring out this mirror. Say the word I will tell you 3 times. Break the egg. A voice will speak from the mirror. Do everything it tells you. Miss nothing." Before Ada could ask a single question, the old woman vanished. Ada screamed, calling for her. "Mama! Mama, where are you? Oh my God, what is happening?" But when she ran outside, the house was gone, only forest. Trembling, she clutched the mirror and ran back to the farm. She did not sleep until daybreak. The next morning, Ada went straight to the market. She did not argue with herself. She did not ask questions. She bought 1 egg. The egg sat heavy in her palm as she moved through the day, working on people's farms like she always did, clearing weeds, carrying loads, bending until her back screamed. But her mind was no longer on hunger or exhaustion. It was fixed on the mirror wrapped tightly in a cloth and hidden away. As night crept in, Ada stopped walking. She waited. When the village went quiet and the moon climbed high, she stepped out into the open, exactly midnight. Her hand shook as she brought out the old mirror. She placed it before her, set the egg beside it, and swallowed hard. Then she said the words the old woman had taught her. 3 times, exactly as instructed. She raised the egg and smashed it. The mirror knitted, not slowly, not gently. It rose violently into the air, spinning, hanging where no hand held it. The night went cold. The wind died. Then a voice spoke, deep, heavy, neither male nor female. "You said you wanted to be rich," the voice said. "You said you wanted respect. You are tired of suffering, tired of sleeping in farms like an animal." Ada stood frozen. "You ate a spicy chicken last night," the voice continued. "That chicken is what you prepare for the villagers." Her heart pounded. "You will go to the mortuary," the voice said. "You will bathe the dead bodies there. When you are done, the water you used to wash the corpses, that is the water you will use to wash your chickens, every single one." Ada's breath caught in her throat. "You will use the remaining water to prepare the spices, the pepper, the seasoning, everything. When they taste your chicken, they will love it. They will crave it. No one will go a day without eating it." The mirror trembled. "You will make more money. You'll buy a big house. You'll be respected. But listen carefully." Ada's knees weakened. "Every Friday night, at exactly 12 midnight, you must sleep in the mortuary, among the corpses. You must not miss a single Friday, no matter how rich you become." The voice paused, then continued. "You are wondering how you will afford chickens? Do not worry. Buckets of chicken will be provided. Spices will be provided. Everything you need will be ready by morning. You will do the rest yourself. Wash the chickens carefully with the buckets of water used to bathe dead bodies that will be provided for you. After tomorrow, you will need to do all this yourself." The mirror tilted slightly toward her. Do you understand, Adam? She couldn't speak. The voice roared, shaking the air. Do you understand? Yes, Ada whispered, shaking violently. I understand. The mirror vanished. The night swallowed itself whole. Ada collapsed where she stood. She slept. When she woke up, the sun was already rising, and before her were buckets of fresh chicken, neatly arranged. A bucket of dark cloudy water sat beside him. The smell was unmistakable. It was not clean water. It was the kind of water that had touched dirt. Beside it were packets of spices. Ada stared. The voice had not lied. She washed the chickens carefully with the water. Slowly, thoroughly. She felt sick, but she did not stop. When she was done, she used the remaining water to prepare the pepper, grinding and mixing until the spices turned deep red and thick. She gathered firewood and prepared everything. At the market, at one quiet corner, a grill was already waiting. Ada did not ask how. She laid the chickens on the grill. The fire caught, the smell rose, and the villagers turned. People drifted closer. Noses lifted. Someone stopped walking. Another followed the scent. Within minutes, villagers surrounded her. Where is this girl? One woman whispered. How is the chicken so soft? Another asked. This taste, someone muttered. It's divine. Ada smiled. She sold piece after piece. The reaction was instant. Eyes widening, silence falling, fingers licking oil and spice. The line grew fast. By noon, people were fighting to keep their place. Even the king heard. He sent guards with money. They returned with chicken. The king ate and ate. His body weakened with pleasure, his mouth demanding more. From that day, no one in Umueke went without Ada's chicken. Even her wicked uncle and his wife king. They ate. They praised her. They trembled with craving. By evening, Mr. Chike returned Ada's father's house to her. Every property he had stolen, Ada accepted them without a word, but forgiveness never entered her heart. She remembered her parents, her brother. She swore silently that they would pay. The cycle continued. Money flowed. Respect followed. Ada built a life, but some nights, alone. She wished her family were alive to see it. When the market closed that evening, and the last coins cooled in her palms, Ada did not go home to rest. She went to the mortuary. The building sat at the edge of the village, quiet, forgotten. Its walls darkened by time and silence. Ada entered with a bucket in her hand. Her heart pounded so loudly she feared the dead might hear it. One by one, she baited the corpses laid out on cold slabs. She poured water over stiff limbs, over sunken chests, over faces that would never open their eyes again. The water splashed, darkened, thickened. When she was done, she carried the bucket home. The next morning, Ada woke before dawn. In her kitchen, she poured the same water over raw chickens, washing them carefully, thoroughly, just as she had been instructed. She used some of it to mix her spices, pepper, seasoning, herbs, stirring until the mixture turned deep, rich, and heavy with scent. By the time she reached the market, the grill was already hot. She laid the chickens on it, one after another. The fire caught. Smoke rose. By 5 a.m., a crowd had gathered. People stood shoulder to shoulder, bowls in her hand, eyes fixed on the grill. Ada's chicken had become the talk of Umueke, and beyond it, people came from neighboring villages just to taste it. They spoke of it in markets, on farms, in whispers at night. Everyone loved Ada's chicken. On Friday night, Ada returned to the mortuary. She slept there as instructed. The smell of decay clung to her skin, crawled into her nose, refused to let her rest. Fear kept her eyes open for hours. That was the price she had to pay to be successful. But eventually, exhaustion dragged her into sleep. At dawn, she rose, took another bucket, baited the corpses again, and carried the water home. This routine continued for months. Within that time, Ada's uncle and his family were found dead in their house. No wounds, no struggle, no explanation. The village whispered, confused and afraid. Ada said nothing. She knew her revenge was complete. Business continued. Money flowed like water. Men came to her store pretending to buy chicken, lingering, smiling, making promises. Ada rejected them all. Love was a luxury she no longer needed. She had work to do. But months of eating Ada's chicken began to leave marks on the village. People started falling sick, one after another. Strange illnesses, fevers that medicine could not cure, weakness that spread through the body like rots. Some died suddenly, others wasted away slowly. Even the king fell ill. A native doctor was summoned. He tried herbs, incantations, sacrifices, but nothing worked. At last, he told the queen the truth. He had never seen a sickness like this before. The king died. The village mourned. After the mourning ended, life resumed, and the queues returned. Every home began its morning with Ada's chicken. Even in grief, the craving remained. Life felt perfect again, at least on the surface. Ada continued to follow every instruction without question, until Victor. Victor loved Ada's chicken like everyone else, but he was different. Tall, handsome, warm-eyed. When their eyes met, something shifted. They fell into each other easily, effortlessly. They cooked together, ate together, went to the market together, laughed together. Ada found herself smiling for a reason that had nothing to do with money. She fell deeply in love, and fear followed. People were still getting sick, still dying. Ada could not bear the thought of losing Victor, so she made him a different chicken. Clean, untouched by mortuary water. It tasted different, but Victor didn't question it. He was too in love to care. The villagers kept eating. They kept falling sick. Whispers grew louder. Fear crept into conversations. No one knew the cause of the deaths, but something was wrong, terribly wrong. And Ada stood at the center of it all, smiling, selling chicken, hiding love, hiding deaths. The storm was coming. Umueke was almost empty. Houses stood quiet. Doors stayed shut. The roads that once echoed with footsteps and arguments were now silent. Doors settling undisturbed. Death had thinned the village, taking families home, leaving only shadows behind. Ada noticed. She simply did not care. Her world had narrowed to Victor. Some mornings, she'd not open her stall at all. Other days, she opened late. The villagers waited anyway. Weak, restless, desperate. When Ada did not appear, some of them fell sick from the absence alone. Their bodies had learned the chicken, learned to depend on it. They worried, they whispered, they waited. Ada was elsewhere, laughing, resting her head on Victor's chest, pretending the village did not exist. That Friday evening, Ada was restless. She checked the sky more than once. Night was approaching. She knew what she was supposed to do. Friday night, midnight, the mortuary. She told herself she would leave soon, but Victor had plans. When Ada stepped into the room to change, preparing herself for the night she dreaded, she froze. The room was glowing. Soft lights, flowers, candles, a careful warmth that made the air feel gentle, safe. And there was Victor, standing at the center. His hands trembled as he dropped to one knee. Ada's breast caught. He smiled, nervous, hopeful, holding out a ring that shimmered softly in the light. "My love," he said, his voice shaking. "Marry me." For a moment, the world stopped. Ada forgot the dead, forgot the mortuary, forgot the rose. Joy crashed into her like a wave she had never known. She screamed, laughed, cried, all at once. She said yes before her mind could catch up. Victor slipped the ring onto her finger, and they danced, slow and clumsy and beautiful, laughing like children. They ate the meal Victor had prepared, warm, clean food, untouched by secrets. They talked, they dreamed. For the first time in a long while, Ada felt human again. That night, wrapped in love and exhaustion, she slept. At exactly 12 midnight, the air changed. A sharp cold sliced through the room. "Ada," the voice tore through her sleep like a whip. "Ada," she jolted awake, her heart slamming against her ribs. Standing at the foot of the bed was a woman, beautiful, terrifying. She wore a flowy red satin gown that seemed to move on its own, her long hair cascading like dark water. Her eyes burned with rage. "Who are you?" Ada whispered, shaking. Victor still asleep beside her. The woman's voice thundered, "You have failed." Ada's blood ran cold. "You were instructed to sleep in the mortuary tonight," the woman said. "You did not." Ada slid off the bed and fell to her knees. "Please," she begged. "Forgive me. I forgot. It won't happen again, please." The woman stepped closer, her presence crushing, suffocating. "There are no second chances," she said. "You were warned. There are consequences." Before Ada could speak again, the woman vanished. The room returned to silence. Ada screamed, "No, no, no, no!" Victor woke in panic, pulling her into his arms. "My love, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" Ada could not speak. She buried her face in his chest and wept. Outside, the village slept uneasily, and somewhere between love and death, Ada's debt had come due. After that night, Ada did not return to the grave. She lay burning on her bed, her body drenched in sweat, skin scorching to the touch as if fire leaped inside her. Her breathing came in shallow gaps. Her eyes drifted in and out of focus, lips trembling with words she could no longer finish. Victor stayed. He cleaned her body gently, wiped her sweat, lifted her head to give her water. He cooked simple meals and fed her slowly, whispering encouragement even as fear grew inside him. But Ada only grew worse. Her fever refused to break. Her strength slipped away like sand through fingers. Victor called a doctor. The doctor examined her carefully. Pulse, eyes, chest, breath. He shook his head, confused. "There is nothing medically wrong with her," he said at last, "but something is killing her." Ada heard that. That night, weak and shaking, she called Victor close. Her voice cracked as she spoke, spilling everything, literally everything. The mortuary, the corpses, the water, the chicken, the Friday night. When she finished, silence filled the room. Victor stood slowly. "What?" he whispered. His shock hardened into horror. "How could you do this, Ada? How could you be so evil?" His voice broke. "I fell in love with a monster," Ada sobbed, clutching his hand. "Please forgive me. I did it to survive. I love you. Don't leave me." Victor pulled his hand away. He left. Before dawn, Victor gathered the villagers, those still alive, weak, hollow-eyed, trembling. He told them everything Ada had confessed. Every word landed like a blow. Shock turned into rage, fear and despair. They finally understood what had been poisoning them all along. The chicken stopped, but the sickness did not. People collapsed in their homes. Others vomited blood. Death hovered again. No one knew how to cleanse themselves, except Victor, the only one still strong, the only one untouched. So he left. He traveled for days, forest after forest, river after river. Hunger gnawed at him, but he pressed on. At last, deep inside a dense forest where the air felt ancient and watching, he met a woman waiting, as if she had always known he would come. "You seek a cure," she said calmly. "Yes," Victor replied. "My people are dying." She nodded. "The land must be cleansed. The woman who caused the atrocities must be sacrificed. I will come with you. After that, your people will drink from the sacred river. They will purge what they consumed. Then they will be free." Victor bowed his head in gratitude. Relief washed over him. They returned to Umweke. Ada was carried from her bed, too weak to stand, her cries echoing as they lay on a wooden table by the village river. She begged. She screamed Victor's name. No one answered. The woman began the ritual, her voice cutting through the air like a blade. When it was done, silence fell. The air shifted. It felt lighter. The villagers, men, women, children, dragged themselves to the sacred stream. One by one, they drank. Minutes passed. Then it began. Violence, wrenching purges as their bodies expelled moons of poison. They collapsed, gasping, vomiting, crying. Then, belief. Breaths came easier. Eyes cleared. Strength returned. The villagers erupted in tears and dancing. Life rushed back into Umweke. The newly chosen king stepped forward and thanked the woman, who simply nodded and disappeared into the forest without another word. Ada was gone. The land was free. And Umweke would never forget the taste of the chicken that almost destroyed them all. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end of the story. If the story moved you, disturbed you, or made you think, please like this video, share it with others, and comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss another powerful story like this. Most importantly, tell me in the comments, what did you learn from Ada's story? Which part affected you the most? Your support keeps these stories alive. Thank you for watching. Bye.